I'm Amy.
I'm Laura.
And we are TwoPaperGirls.
Today we're going to do our December TBR, the last TBR of 2016, which is a bit crazy because we've been doing these since 2015, 2014. Like, we have a lot of TBRs now. We literally have to put the date of the year because we have other videos called December TBRs. We have to put December TBR 2016 because we have so many of them now. But I always like TBR videos because they always motivate me to read. I like watching them because it motivates me to read. And yeah, so we're just going to talk about what we're going to read.
We're both slightly behind in our Goodreads goals, which means we're definitely not going to do it.
Big behind.
That's okay.
Big behind,
I would be really big behind if I hadn't have counted each Attack on Titan volume as a book. I would be a good 20 books behind myself. Instead I'm only 4,
something.
which is okay, but also I cheated.
But you didn't cheat. I've been counting graphic novels and plays. If I hadn't counted those, I'd be way more behind if I just counted proper books.
But as always, we have been ambitious because we always love to show off what we're doing.
We do.
I'm just going to start with the
setting
first one.
myself goals.
Yeah,
If I give myself a big TBR, I feel like I'm going to read a lot. If I say I'm going to read 1 book this month, I probably will. If I say I'm going to read 5, I probably won't, but I want to. I'll try.
It's all about wanting to. Now, if you watched our November wrap-up, you will know that I've started The Fever Code by James Dashner. I always have to pause and think, what's this one called? I get them mixed up. So far, it's great. I want to finish this as soon as possible so I can wrap it up and be all like, James Dashner, yay, hype. And this is going to be great, so I just thought I'd mention this really quickly.
The first book I need to finish it off this month is The Virtuoso by Thomas Shadwell. You can probably not even see that. This is from my library. It's a very old copy, which is why it looks really boring. It is. It's the last book I have to read for a module. The last one I'm going to read for a module that I'm doing called Reformation Revolutions. I feel like I keep talking about this module because there's been quite a lot of reading for it. This is a play. It's a restoration comedy about people and like the start of science, like scientific discoveries and knowledge, which is quite interesting. Kind of. I just want to read my fun books, but I am doing a presentation on this, so I have to read it quite carefully. I've already read Act 1. Plan on reading like an act a day, and then it will be done by the end of the week. So yeah, you all cared about that little spiel, didn't you?
The next book that I want to read is The Cursed Child. I haven't read it yet. It's going to be great. I just find the nest weird.
It is. I really don't like the cover or the nest. I think this cover's gross, and I don't like. I saw it in London the other day.
Snitch.
And the little nest is just like, why?
I know. I don't understand.
Why no?
Was that anything to do with anything?
No.
Oh,
It's just.
I don't really like it. But I've heard a lot about how amazing the play is. So I'm trying to think, if I imagine it on stage while I'm reading it, I might enjoy it more than just reading it, because I've heard it's wacky.
I think
crazy.
you'll be okay because you're used to reading plays as well. So you'll read it in terms of imagining it and knowing that like the lines can be read different. Oh, I'm showing off. Oh, spoilers. And you'll read it in terms of like the lines depend on how the actor says it. Where I think people not used to reading plays just read it their way.
Oh, Hogwarts Girls Bathroom, Scorpius.
It is exciting just because it's all the old characters. Like, I had so many feels when I started it. And then,
I'm happy to read about Scorpius because when I was reading Harry Potter's, Draco was one of my favourite characters, even though he's a douchebag. I love him, and his son is probably nice, or else he wouldn't be hanging around with Harry Potter's son.
Scorpius is nice. Draco's in it as well.
Is he?
Yeah, so.
Oh.
Yeah. The main thing I want to read this month is this gigantic beast. Not a fantastic beast though. I know where this one is. Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This is a tome, to say the least. I thought I was going to read it this month and take part in Tome Topple, but that didn't happen because uni happened. This is 650 pages long, which is like a good 250 pages out of my comfort zone, really, in terms of I get scared of big books. But I am really excited to read this. Something about winter just makes me want to be in like fantasy worlds that are all cold and hilly and there's knights. Well, this doesn't have knights, has assassins. I'm just excited. I have the audiobook as well, so I can like flip between the two. And I'm just in the mood to be sat in the warm when it's cold outside reading a humongous book. And I don't get that feeling very often, so I'm embracing it and hopefully going to get round to this. Hopefully it's good. I've heard people really like this one, but people also really liked Air of Fire, and I wasn't a massive fan. Hoping that this lifts it back up, because if this is also bad, not that Air of Fire was awful, but if this isn't great, I'm just going to be like, downward slope for Throne of Glass and might just give up. But hopefully this is really good. It's back in the setting that I like, with the characters I like, so I have good expectations. But we'll see.
The last thing that I want to read in December is The Christmasaurus by Tom Fletcher. It's about a Christmas dinosaur. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm unbelievably excited. Basically, it's about this cute little boy here. He is called William. He is disabled. He gets a Christmasaurus. And I've just been through the contents, and it's in like cute little chapters, and it just sounds like it's for kids. But it's just magnificent. It's beautifully made, it's going to be beautifully written, and it's just going to have a deeper meaning like all of McFly's stuff, because Tom McFly is like the loveliest man, and I wish happiness to him and his family forever.
I just had to like prise this out of Amy's hands to say I do actually also want to read this. Christmas still feels very far away, so in my head I can't imagine that I want to read this soon. But I do feel festive though, but I just feel like, when is this going to happen? But
Christmas decks are going up this weekend.
Ooh, it is. I think Amy's going to read this and be like, it's amazing, go read it. So I really want to read this around Christmas time, because I don't tend to like reading Christmassy books, but it's a dinosaur and he's disabled and it just is so cute. And also it looks quite big, but because it's a kid's book, the size font is like 20, so it won't take very long, I don't think. It'll just be really sweet. And the last thing I want to read this month is The Ghost of Heaven by Marcus Sedgwick. This is a totally random book. I recognise the title, and I think I've picked it up in a bookshop before and gone, that sounds cool, but not bought it. So I was in Foyles in London and just saw it, and I picked it up and I was like, oh, this sounds really good. It kind of reminds me of On the Other Side a little bit. It seems like magical realism, but with like a very real world people and setting, but just like hints of magic. And it's called The Ghosts of Heaven, so it seems to be a little bit about like the afterlife and heaven and stuff. I don't know though, but it just seems really sweet, and a lot of it is written in verse as well, which I think it's going to be really quick to get through. I think it's split into 4 sections as well, of like following different people, so it seems like a book to dip in and out of, which is always nice for Christmas when you're super busy. I could just read like one person's bit, read some Queen of Shadows or the Christmas story, then come back to it. So I would like to read this month. It's probably the least likely one, but I'm really in the mood for it because I've just bought it and it seems really sweet, so hopefully it's good.
So that is it for our December TBR. Let us know what books you're reading in December.
And we will see you on the next video.
Bye.